You're listening to the Telltale channel. Don't forget to check me out on all social media: Patreon, Twitter, Teespring, and Etsy. All links can be found in the description or on my website, telltaleatheist.com. Welcome back to the podcast. I know a lot of you guys probably noticed me touching my face. It's okay, I washed my hands before the podcast. And also I'm inside, so I haven't been out really at all, except earlier, and I did wash my hands after that, so don't worry. I can touch my face as much as I want. It's okay, no viruses in here. We're safe. I have to be able to touch my face sometimes. I have to. What am I going to do if I can't touch my face sometimes? I mean, not all the time, but every now and then at least. Please, let me touch my face when I'm at home streaming. Anyway, I will die if I can't touch my face sometimes. When I can't touch my face, like when I'm out or something, my nose itches. Basically nonstop. The entire time I can't touch my face. It's awful. I hate going out because of that. Not because I might catch the virus, but because I can't touch my face. That makes it the worst. Anyway, let's take a look at this article. So this article is by Time Magazine. We have a couple of articles that I want to take a look at about this subject. So let's read this. It's by Time Magazine. The title is Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Oh my God, that name is so long. LDS Church and or Mormons, you can call them that if you want, cancels all worship services worldwide during pandemic. The LDS Church is suspending all of its worship services globally because of the spread of the new. The decision was made hours after Utah's governor recommended limiting group gatherings in the state to no more than 100 people for at least 2 weeks. And by the way, this was written on March 12th, so it's a little bit dated at this moment. It was written by the Associated Press originally. Let's continue reading. The Utah-based Faith sent a letter Thursday to members informing them of a decision that also calls on a temporary suspension of all church activities until further notice. This is a really, really big deal. The move comes a day after the Faith announced it would hold a major conference in early April without attendees. It's the first time since a 1957 flu epidemic that the religion has taken the step of barring church members from attending in person. This isn't the only article I wanted to read about this. This one was by Time. I have another article here by the Salt Lake Tribune. Of course, Salt Lake City being the capital of Utah, I believe, and the capital of Mormon country. An obnoxious number of people in Salt Lake City are Mormon, like 40%. Like 1 out of every 2 people you pass on the street is going to be a Mormon pretty much in this city, so it's even more concentrated in certain specific areas of the city. So let's read this. Hang on, let me find the exact thing that I wanted to read. There was an earthquake in Salt Lake City, I believe, or in Utah anyways, and it actually shook everything so hard that it knocked the horn off of the statue Moroni on the Salt Lake Temple. It was actually a really big deal, and it's kind of sad. I hate to see destruction like that, so I'm sorry that they had to deal with that. I didn't really get to cover that, and I'm not going to be able to cover that today either. We'll cover it another day. For now, I wanted to take a look at this article, Shakes Up Church Operations. This is updated March 19th, 2020. It was written by David Noyce, I believe, N-O-Y-C-E. Church-related closures and cancellations, like the spread of the world is combating, came quickly and relentlessly. Jehovah's Witnesses closed everything down before Mormons did. People were asking Mormons questions about why they weren't closing things down yet when this really started in full swing. Worship services have been canceled worldwide until further notice, putting the faith's home-centered, church-supported model to an extreme test. The sacrament, or communion, is to be made available at least once a month. Now, I believe that means they have to go to their chapels, their churches basically, to get it. I could be wrong there. Scores of temples have shut down and others open by appointment only, and only for living ordinances such as marriages, sealings, and endowments for prospective missionaries and couples intending to wed. Okay, so that's still a little bit risky. I believe what they mean when they say for only living ordinances is they're not going to be doing baptisms for the dead for this immediate moment. You can continue doing your genealogy to figure out who your great-great-grandparent was so that you can get baptized for them or whatever. That's basically what they do. They're super into genealogy so that they can figure out everybody in their past who has ever lived, and then they get baptized for them in their place, proxy baptism, so that now they're dead, they have the choice of going to super VIP heaven or not, pretty much. Getting out of purgatory or spiritual prison, I think it's called. So they're not doing those at this moment. They've shut that down, I guess. They're just doing sealings, which is basically marriages, pretty much. A little bit more than that. And endowments for prospective missionaries and couples intending to wed. The church further stated that temples will accept only appointments for living ordinances for members residing within the local temple district. However, in states or regions with multiple temples, a news release noted, those temples can schedule living ordinances from members within those states or regions. All proxy work, which is the proxy baptisms, where you get baptized for people who've already died, in which members perform ordinances such as baptisms for their deceased ancestors, is on hold. Okay, that's a plus. That's a move in the right direction, at least. Mission calls will keep going out, but the new proselytizers may start their service elsewhere. Okay, that's not a good idea. Continuing to send missionaries out, that's a bad idea. Why are they doing that? Young elders serving in the U.S. and Canada will come home early if they've served 21 months. They should be coming home early anyways. Just come home. Senior missionaries and those with serious or chronic medical conditions across Europe have returned early. Good. The same may occur for such missionaries elsewhere. Non-native missionaries in the Philippines, Korea, and Mongolia will do or have done the same. Mongolia? Really? I didn't know they had missionaries in Mongolia. That's really interesting. I would love to go to Mongolia one day. Seems like a cool place to go. Most non-native missionaries in Africa will return home to self-quarantine and then serve their home countries based on capacity and need. They shouldn't be serving at all. Don't go door to door. This is what I was saying in my video the other day. Put a sign up. Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons, not welcome. Do not knock. Do not want you here. I am quarantining. Stay away. Seriously, Mormons are still knocking on doors. And Jehovah's Witnesses are too a little bit, although they did put the call out that they should stop doing door knocking and start preaching in other ways like social media. A lot of them haven't really gotten the message, though, like I said. For many who remain in the fields, they are teaching with technology without leaving their apartments. Good. Okay, that's a step in the right direction, but it says for many who remain in the field. Not all who remain in the field are teaching with technology. We shouldn't have anybody knocking on doors right now. Anybody. You are risking people's lives with this garbage. Missionaries in the U.S. and Canada, along with those in much of the world, have been instructed not to go door to door or contact people on the street. That's a good sign. Church schools, including Brigham Young University in Provo, have canceled classes and are instead teaching courses online. Classes have been canceled for seminaries and institutes too, especially in places where schools have been shuttered. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square's weekly radio show, the longest continuously running network broadcast, will go on, but the performances will be reruns. They should cancel that. Temple Square, one of Utah's most popular tourist draws, along with the church's libraries, museum, restaurants, and other visitor attractions in downtown Salt Lake City, have closed. Good. One thing that people don't seem to be getting with this quarantine situation, you're supposed to be staying home, right? So that means going to your house and not going to work right now. People are like going outside and walking their dogs, or they're going on hikes and just checking out the trees and stuff. And they're like, well, I'm not really around other people, right? So it's mostly safe. I can do this if I'm not really around other people. The problem with that is other people have that idea too. So how many people do you pass on the street when you walk your dog? Or when you go on a hike? How many people are you passing? Do you see literally anybody at all? Because I do. I see people pass my street constantly still. The CDC is recommending you don't go outside at all for anything. They said you can walk your dog once a day if you want. If you smoke cigarettes or something, you can go out on your front porch and then come right back inside. You're not supposed to be going outside at all. Like, not stepping out your front door. unless you're going to the grocery store pretty much right now. That's kind of what the CDC is saying at this immediate moment. So that's what I've kind of been living by for a while. It's really, really hard to do, even for me. I stay in a lot of the time because I work from home, but I do it. It's not fun. It's not pleasant to not be able to hang out with friends or see friends or go outside and see the sun. It's not fun, but I'm doing it, and everyone else should be doing it too. And the fact that the Mormon Church took as long as they did to cancel literally all contact with the outside world is pretty messed up, and they still haven't entirely canceled contact with the outside world. So I'm really not happy about that.